We always ask that huge question. Are we alone in the universe? Well, for 72 incredible seconds on a summer night back in 1977, we really thought we had the answer. We're about to dive into one of modern science's greatest unsolved mysteries, a powerful, focused radio signal from deep space that just appeared and then vanished.
And it all comes down to this single piece of paper, a computer printout from an old radio telescope. That code, circled in red, 6EQJ5, it represents a signal so strong, so unusual, that the astronomer who found it, Jerry Ayman, could only manage to scribble one single word in the margin in his astonishment. Wow! And honestly, that gut reaction just says it all.
So let's go back. It's August 15th, 1977. At Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, Jerry Ayman is volunteering for the SETI project. That's the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. His job was to comb through mountains of data printouts, just looking for anything, any little blip that stood out from the endless static of the cosmos. And on this particular night, he didn't find a blip. He found a thunderbolt.
All right, so once the initial shock of wow started to wear off, the real work began. Scientists dug in, and they quickly realized this was no random burst of cosmic noise. No, the wow signal had a very specific, unique fingerprint. It had a set of characteristics so perfect it was unlike anything they'd ever seen before, or, for that matter, have ever seen since.
First off, you've got its raw power. The signal's intensity peaked at a staggering 30 times stronger than the normal background noise of deep space. I mean, think about that. The universe is always humming with faint, ambient radio waves. This wasn't a hum. This was a shout, clear as day.
And then there's the timing. The signal was detected for exactly 72 seconds, not 71, not 73, exactly 72. Now that number might seem random, but it's not just a weird detail. It's probably one of the most important clues in this whole cosmic detective story.
And here's why that number is so critical. The Big Ear telescope was fixed. It couldn't be aimed. It just used the Earth's own rotation to scan the sky. And because of that, any single point out in deep space would drift through its view for, you guessed it, exactly 72 seconds. The way the signal rose, peaked, and then faded over that precise time frame was basically ironclad proof that this thing was coming from way out there, deep in space. It wasn't a satellite, it wasn't a military plane, it wasn't someone's microwave.
But this is maybe the most tantalizing clue of all. The frequency. The signal came in at 1420 megahertz. For astronomers, that number is practically sacred ground. It's known as the hydrogen line. It's the frequency that hydrogen, the most common element in the entire universe, naturally emits. For decades, scientists have figured, hey, if an intelligent species wanted to broadcast a message for anyone to find, this is the universal dial tone they'd use. It's the one channel everyone in the cosmos would know to tune into.
So, of course, they tried to pinpoint where it came from, and that just added another layer to the mystery. They traced it to a seemingly empty patch of sky in the Sagittarius constellation. There are no obvious stars there, no known planets, absolutely nothing that we know of that could produce such a powerful, focused signal. The source was a ghost. The signal appeared. It rode through the telescope's view for its 72-second journey, and just like that, it was gone. It didn't fizzle out or get distorted. It just winked out of existence as the Earth kept turning, disappearing right back into the cosmic quiet it came from. You can imagine the frenzy that followed. Astronomers all over the world pointed their telescopes at that same patch of sky, desperate to hear it again. And for the last 40-plus years, they've conducted hundreds of searches, using technology that's unbelievably more powerful than the old Big Ear. And you know what they found? Absolutely nothing. The line went silent, and it has stayed silent ever since.
So what we have here is a genuine cosmic whodunit, a signal that has every single hallmark of an intelligent message, but it shows up once and then vanishes forever. This brings us to the investigation phase. So let's go through the lineup of suspects and see if we can figure out what happened that night.
Okay, let's break down the prime suspects. First, the one everyone wants to be true, the alien beacon theory. And the evidence for it is pretty strong. The signal was powerful, narrow, and smack dab on the hydrogen line, all things that suggest intelligent design. But the big question, the one that stumps everyone, is why? Why would an advanced civilization send a single 72-second ping and then just go dark? Was it a warning? A hello? Or did we just happen to overhear a tiny snippet of something much, much bigger? All right, next up, passing comets. In 2017, a theory popped up suggesting the hydrogen cloud around a comet could have caused the signal. It's a neat, tidy, natural explanation, right? Well, not really. Most of the astronomy community, including Jerry Ekman himself, pushed back hard, saying we've never seen a comet do anything like this, and the signal was just way too focused. Okay, so what about a rare natural event? Maybe some kind of stellar flare or a weird gravitational lensing effect? It's possible, but here's the problem. No known natural phenomenon in the universe perfectly matches the signal's frequency, its intensity, and its duration. It's a fingerprint without a match in our database.
So, here's the bottom line. Every conventional explanation we can think of has a major hole in it. The comet theory just doesn't work, and no natural event we know of fits the bill. You know that old Sherlock Holmes saying? When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. And we are left with something, well, pretty improbable.
And that leads us right here to this powerful conclusion that many in the scientific community still hold. While it's not absolute proof, the WOW signal is, to this day, the single strongest candidate we have ever found for a real transmission from an extraterrestrial intelligence. It checks every single box of what we'd expect a signal like that to look like.
But at the end of the day, the case file is still wide open. We have the data. The proof that something truly remarkable happened that night is undeniable. But without a repeat signal, without knowing the source, we're left with this tantalizing, incredibly frustrating piece of a much bigger story. It's like we overheard a single word from a long conversation, but we can't find the room it came from.
And so that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The one that's been echoing through the decades since that signal arrived. If that was a deliberate 72-second hello from across the cosmic ocean, what was the point? Was it just a beacon, a lighthouse in the dark, simply announcing, hey, we are here? Was it a tiny fragment of a galactic encyclopedia we just happened to tune into for a moment? Or was it something else entirely? That's the enduring mystery of the WOW signal. It gives us this profound reason to believe we might not be alone, but it leaves us to wonder about everything else.